Looking this week at how we can overcome fear, please feel free to share this series of thoughts with others because fear is a massive problem and most people struggle with fear. We started talking about why we must conquer fear. Firstly, fear has torment, 1 John 4:18. Secondly, fear paralyzes our potential. Can I say, never let fear stop you taking opportunities. Courage is actually not the absence of fear. It's doing it despite fear. You just go ahead and do it. So we're living a day of great opportunities, and one of Satan's strategies is to attack us with fear so we don't fulfill our potential. Third reason we need to overcome fear is our fear may discourage others. In Judges 7, great story, Gideon's got 30,000 men, and he's going out against the Midianites who've got 135,000, so they're just outnumbered. Absolutely, 35 against 135,000. God's strategy, he speaks to Gideon and says, announce now that to the people, anyone who trembles with fear may turn back and leave. And out of 30,000, 22,000 are gone. They just took off. You couldn't see them for the dust. Why would God whittle the army down? Well, here's one thought. Deuteronomy 20 verse 8. Then the officers shall add, if any man is afraid or faint-hearted, let him go home so that his brothers will not become disheartened too. See, the danger of fear is that our fear causes others around us to fear and be discouraged, and it could destroy a whole army. Fear spreads very, very quickly. When I lived in the Philippines, there was a man, we called him, his name was Brother Go, and he always left a healthy deposit of fear. I mean, he talked about this robbery and this break-in and this happened to this person, that person, that. Like, we feared when we saw him coming, we got afraid because we just knew he was going to unleash fear on us. We'd have to pray after he'd gone. God, help us, deliver us. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, can I repeat it? God has not given us a spirit of fear, but love, power, and a sound mind. There are many fears or many phobias. You've probably heard of some of them. I bet you're guilty of some. Agoraphobia, the fear of people. Scopophobia, the fear of people watching you. Zoophobia, fear of animals. Pyrophobia, the fear of fire. Neophobia, fear of something new. Interesting, eh? Claustrophobia, fear of confined spaces, tunnels, lifts. Acrophobia, fear of heights. Ergophobia, this is very common, fear of work. And then phobophobia, that's fear of everything. So there's all the fears. I'm sure you're guilty of one or two of them that I am as well. So I want to look now at 6 keys to helping you find victory over fear. First one is quite simple, and that's just simply trust in God. Isaiah 26 verse 3, you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. See, if we can keep our eyes on Jesus in the midst of the storms that come our way, it is going to help us to have a greater freedom from fear because we know that God is with us, God is on our side, God has got all power. Somehow if we can just keep our mind and our eyes fixed on Jesus in whatever storm we may be experiencing today. Jeremiah puts it this way in 17 verse 7 and 8. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord. How's your trust right now? How's my trust? And whose hope is in the Lord. He shall be like a tree planted by the waters, which spreads out its roots by the river, and will not fear when heat comes, when the pressure comes. Will not fear, but his leaf will be green, and will not be anxious in a year of drought, nor will cease from yielding fruit. If we can develop and grow in our trust in God, that is a key to overcoming fear or being less fearful in our lives.